Hello everyone, welcome to day 2 of my Darling Dinos class to go. This is a class to go that I am featuring for free on my blog. You can earn the class to go kit for free by simply placing an order in my online store. There are 3 different options to earn the class kit for free. All orders over $50, you're going to receive the class for free, but there are specific bonuses for orders over $100 and $150. Make sure to check the video description for all the details on all of that. And make sure that you remember that we are in celebration. So if you bump your order up to $60, you're going to get a free celebration product as well. Now, yesterday was day 1. And we made this birthday card, this adorable little dinosaur birthday card. I just love this one. Now today, we're stepping it up quite a bit. And we are going to make this sweet little card. This would be perfect for Valentine's Day or anniversaries, whatever you want to use it for. But we're going to do some reverse stamping because as you see in the stamp set, we have this cute little T-Rex, but he only faces one way. So we're going to do what's called reverse stamping, and we're going to make them face in 2 different directions. So this is a little bit fancier. So I've already done a lot of the prep work on this card. I've already cut and die cut and colored some of our pieces just to make sure that the video isn't too long. So let's go ahead and start with our stamping. And the only stamping that we're going to be doing, we're going to put some details on the heart there, and we're going to stamp our little girl dinosaur. But let me show you all the other stamping that I've already done. So I already have our greetings, and I die cut these, or stamp them on some scrap pieces of basic white. And so I stamped those in Lost Lagoon. And then I have our little boy dinosaur. And we're actually going to add some glasses to him. So you can leave him like this, or you can add glasses. Now you can see I colored mine a little bit differently. This one I used Pool Party mostly for my dinosaur. And this one I used Lost Lagoon. So it just goes to show you can color your dinosaurs however you want. But we are going to add some glasses to him. And then he also has a little hat that has already been colored. So this one is colored with his belly is Pool Party. His body is Lost Lagoon. And his little spikes are in Pretty Peacock. And then for his hat, it is Pretty Peacock and Petunia Pop. And so we're going to set those aside. We're going to set all these up here so we don't lose them. And for the little girl, I have already stamped and die cut her bow, and I colored that in Pretty and Pink. Now we have a few more little elements that need to go on our card. So we have 2 of the rocks that I have already stamped and die cut, and that's in Basic Gray, and I used my black Memento ink. And then we have 3 of these leaf clusters, and those are stamped on Granny Apple Green cardstock, and I use my black Memento ink for those as well. So let's go ahead and do our stamping for our heart because that's easy. So I have Pretty and Pink ink and Pretty and Pink cardstock and the little tiny heart that goes in that stamp set, and we are just going to stamp all over this little heart just to give it some texture, kind of make it look like DSP. Now if you have a piece of Pretty and Pink DSP, you could buy all means to use that. I'm just going to get some of these hearts on there. So we're just stamping a bunch of little hearts just to reiterate that love theme. All right, so that is it with our Pretty and Pink ink. So the only other thing we need to stamp, let's get our Memento out. Let's add our glasses to our, just stuck my whole finger in that. Let's add our glasses to our little dinosaur here, our little guy. Now these are they're tiny little glasses, and he has tiny little eyes. So I'm gonna try to get over him and do this as best I can. I think that's pretty good. He's super cute. All right, and I'm gonna leave my black Memento out. All right, now let's do our reverse stamping. So I have my little dinosaur stamp, and I have a piece of basic white here. Now to do reverse stamping, there's a couple different ways you can do it. I'm gonna show you how to do it with a stamp positioner. You can also use your glass mat, but I like the stability of the stamp positioner a little bit better. So let me move my lid out of the way. So I'm going to show you how to do it with a stamp positioner. But if you don't have a stamp positioner, you can, like I said, use a glass mat, and I'll talk you through that in just a sec. So inside my stamp positioner, I have our silicone mat. This silicone mat is good for so many different things. You can use adhesive on it, and the adhesive won't stick. It just peels right off. You can get rid of it. I love to use this when I'm using my hot glue gun because the glue doesn't drip anywhere. So I'm going to stick my basic white piece in here just so I know where we're going to be stamping our little girl dinosaur. And I'm going to close the door and pick her up. Now I want my white piece all the way up in the corner so I know exactly where to put it. But we're going to do our stamping directly onto the silicone mat. And I'm going to do this a couple of times. So I'm going to ink her up with my black Memento because we're coloring her in Stampin' Blends. If you're going to watercolor her, you're going to want to use StazOn. But we're going to stamp her right down onto that silicone mat. And I'm going to do that one more time just to get a nice strong image onto the silicone mat. Okay. Now, if you're doing this on your glass mat, you're only going to really be able to do this once. And you just want to stamp it straight down onto your glass mat. And then what we're going to do next is put our paper on it right up in the corner. And then I am actually going to close the door and stamp this again. Okay, now what's on the silicone mat is actually going to transfer to the paper, so we will have a little dinosaur facing in the opposite direction. So pretty cool technique, right? Now again, if you're doing that on the glass mat, you're going to stamp it directly onto the glass mat, and then you would just carefully lay your paper down and then just give it a rub. I love doing it on the stamp positioning tool because when we go to die cut it, if you look at it this way, you're like, well, you know, that's great, but my die isn't going to fit with it that way. But we have that stamped image on the back from where we stamped it on the back, and it will cut it out perfectly. And I'm going to show you that in just a second. But let's go ahead and color her first. So let me get that stamp positioner out of the way. And I'm going to zoom in and we're going to do some coloring on her. I'm going to use some fresh freesia and some Petunia Pop to give her some color. So let's start with the Petunia Pop. Yes, let's go ahead and start with the Petunia Pop. We'll do it differently than we did it yesterday. So I'm going to start with her belly with some dark Petunia Pop on the bottom. And then I'll just kind of blend up to the top of her belly with the light Petunia Pop. Now be careful going around her fingernails here. All right. Now I'm going to use my dark Petunia Pop and just go on, do all of the little spots and her little spikes here. So I'm just going to go around and do those real quick. And then we'll just have to be a little bit more careful when we're coloring with our fresh freesia. You can color the little dinosaurs whatever colors you want. I wanted to make sure that it was clear that this was a little girl dinosaur and the bow helps, and then the hat on the boy dinosaur helps as well. But so I went with a purple blue theme, but you could do yellows or greens. You could do whatever colors you want. These little dinosaurs are so cute. And I've colored them in tons of different colors, so there is really no right or wrong. Okay, I'm going to take my dark fresh freesia and I'm going to kind of, she's got a big snout here. These little T-Rexes are adorable. But I'm going to kind of give like a big loop there, kind of down under her neck, the little arms, around the belly. On this back leg here, we're going to do mostly dark, a little bit on the front leg, around the tail. Kind of like that. That's how I like to shade it. And then we're going to go in with the light fresh freesia and just blend that all out and just finish coloring the whole thing. I'm going to be a little bit careful around these little dots and these spikes just because I don't want to blend them. If you go over them, it's not going to matter too much. This is a much lighter color than that Petunia Pop, but I don't want anything to start spreading out. I don't want those to bleed out. All right, we're just going to go through and blend this, blend the little foot. All right, now if you need to go in and add some more dark, if you want some more shading, you can absolutely do that. We are ready to die cut. So we can't line it up this way, but if we flip it over, we can line it up this way. And I'm going to use some Post-it tape to hold it down because I really don't want it to move. So we're gonna make sure that we line this up with the back of our little dinosaur. And you can even kind of line it up by where the Stampin' Blends are. Stampin' Blends will bleed through your white cardstock, and they're supposed to do that. That is perfectly normal. So you can kind of line it up that way. And then we're going to pop this in to our cut and emboss machine. I'm just going to use my little mini one because that is handy and it fits much better in the camera. And you know, let me zoom out just a little bit. We don't need to be that close anymore. There we go. And we will run this through and we'll have our little girl dinosaur ready to go. Okay, let's move our machine out of the way. Reverse stamping is such a fun technique, and after you do it a couple of times, you'll be like, well, what else can I reverse? What else can I make face each other? All right, so let's get this off. Take off my Post-it tape. And we have our sweet little dinosaur perfectly cut out, and they are now both facing each other. Isn't that cute? What a fun technique that is. All right, let's keep moving along on our card. Let's bring back our card so we know what we're looking at. I'm going to bring in all these die cut pieces back over here. I'll bring in our card so we know what we're looking at. And let's go over the rest of our card pieces. I have a Lost Lagoon card base here. It's 8.5 by 5.5, just your standard card base, scored at 4 1/4. And then I have a piece of Pool Party, which I embossed in the Soft Waves Embossing Folder. This is brand new in our mini catalog. This is in the Friends of the Ocean suite, but I love the way it looks with this one. So we're gonna add that to our card base. And this Pool Party piece is 5 by 3 3/4. Now all the measurements for my card are in the video descriptions. Don't worry about writing anything down. They are all in the video description, and I have pictures on my blog as well, also in the video, link in the video description. Okay. I have die cut a little piece of grass here. This is just lemon lime twist cardstock, and I use one of the border dies from the Bright Skies, and I am going to adhere this down. And actually, excuse me, I'm going to use my my liquid glue here, and I am only going to adhere glue to the very bottom of this because we're going to be tucking some of our dinosaurs in, and I don't want to. I want to make sure that they all fit down there. So that's just going to go on the bottom of that Pool Party piece with just some liquid glue. All right, let's get our little rock and leaf pieces here. I don't want those to get lost. So, and as long as we have our glue out, we might as well. So I'm going to put one down here, and I'm going to put one over here, just like this. And then we'll just tuck our little leaf pieces in, just a little bit of glue on the back of those. If you don't like to use liquid glue, you can use glue dots or whatever your preferred adhesive is. And I'm going to do one just tucked back here. If you get to it before that glue dries, it's really easy to tuck these in right behind. And then one kind of up here. And I just love all these little details. And the different greens work so well together, and all the little details really just bring this whole scene to life. Okay, as long as we have our liquid glue out, let's get the little top hat on our little dinosaur here, our little guy. He's gonna have that on. Don't cover up his glasses. He's gonna wear the little top hat. I'll pull that up so you can see. So cute. I'll set him aside to dry. And then the little girl, we're gonna put the little bow in her hair. So just a little dot of glue back here. And I will stick the little bow right on her, just like this. Okay, let's let those two kind of sit and dry for just a second, and we'll work on our greetings. So I just stamped these, again, like I said, in Lost Lagoon, and we're just going to cut them to the width of the words here, and we're actually going to pop them up on dimensionals onto the card. So we're going to put "You're terrific" on this side. We're going to put "I love you" on the other side, and I'm just cutting them down just a little bit. All right, so let's grab some dimensionals. We'll put on the back of these. You can use mini dimensionals. I'm just going to use my little edge piece here. That should work just fine. And it should be the exact size that we need. Perfect. I love it how these work out so perfectly. I'm going to put this one way up here. And it'll kind of be like they're having a little conversation. And this one on this side. Make sure that little piece is tucked in there. We'll put this one on the right, just kind of right below it. Okay, so our scene is coming together. Let's get a dimensional on the back of our heart so that one's ready to go when we need it. And we'll bring in our little dinosaurs, and we'll put some dimensionals on the back of these. So these are ready to go. I'm going to cut this last dimensional in half, or you can use a mini dimensional, but I just want to make sure that we get this hat, a dimensional on the back of that hat. That way, if the adhesive, the liquid glue that we worked didn't work too well, the hat doesn't fall off because it's got an extra layer of security back there with that with that dimensional. Okay, so we're going to tuck our little girl in. And I'm not going to press anything down just yet because I want to make sure that they're in the right places. I think that looks good. And then we'll stick the heart on just like this. Everything looks good, so I'm going to give everything a really good burnish. So adorable. All right, final finishing touches. We are going to bring in some of our party dots. And I'm going to use both the pool party and the pretty and pink ones. We're just going to use kind of a variety of these. This is a pretty special card. You're going to make this for somebody you really like. So we're going to use a nice little variety of these. So a couple pink ones, a pool party one, and then we'll do a pool party one down here and a little pink one down here. Just kind of a smattering of them all over. And that is today's card. That is day number 2 for my Darling Dinos class to go. I hope you love this card. I sure love this one. I love doing reverse stamping, and I think these little dinosaurs are so perfect. This little scene is just so adorable. All right, so if you love this card, make sure you give me a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you never miss a video. I still have 2 more projects coming with the Darling Dinos stamp set. Remember, if you want to get this class to go, all you need to do is place an online order in my online store by January 31st. That is $50 or more, and you will get the supplies for this class to go for free. There are extra bonuses for orders over 100 and orders over 150, so make sure that you check the video description for all the details. And remember, we're in celebration, so all orders over $60 are going to receive extra bonuses too from Stampin' Up for that. Thank you guys for joining me, and I hope to see you in day number 3. See you tomorrow. Bye.